Hey you, how's it going? My name is Ruby Price and you are listening to episode 38 of Fresh from the Scene. First things first, if you enjoyed today's episode, I would love it if you could give it a 5-star review on Apple Podcasts. I'll shout out all of you who do to say thanks, and you can also leave a 5-star rating on Spotify. And let's not forget the massive impact that sharing this podcast on social media will have. Remember, tag a friend who you think might also enjoy it. And speaking of social media, if you want to come on this podcast, get in touch. We're on Twitter at FFTScene, that's FFTSCENE. Or also let me know who you would like me to speak to, and remember, tag them as well, or they're not gonna see it. Secondly, I do feel the need to give a bit of an apology for the tardiness of the podcast in 2022. I started off the year with a lot of high hopes for the show, and life mostly just got in the way. Truth be told, I wasn't even planning for an episode to come out before the end of 2022, but the stars aligned and this interview came together. So from the bottom of my heart, I am sorry. But hey, new content just in time for Christmas. And given that it's Christmas, you'd be forgiven for feeling a little bit euphoric. Even against the odds, that time is always getting closer. And let's face it, sometimes these puns can be a bit bellicoso. That's right, let's get on to this week's guests, Jess, Alizon and Ben from Calva Louise on episode 38 of Fresh from the Scene, recorded in Parish in Huddersfield just before they supported the legendary Boston Manor. Let's go.
You're listening to Fresh from the Scene with your host, Ruby Price.
Editing Ruby here just to say I apologise for the technical issues that we had during recording the show. I need a new microphone. Welcome to Fresh from the Scene. Today's guests are the lovely Jess, Ben and Alizon from Calva Louise.
Hey,
Hello.
A bit of a timid and then it got a bit louder. So welcome. How are you all doing?
Oh, thank you so much, and very well, very excited for tonight.
Yeah. Presumably first time in Huddersfield.
Yes,
Yeah,
it is.
it
Yeah, you
is.
are thinking, but yes,
it is.
it is. I've always wanted to. We've been here.
It's,
We've been
it's
here.
funny because we have a friend who's from here and he always talks about it, so it's just like Huddersfield's a very familiar name, but I don't think we've played Huddersfield.
No, we've never. But we've been here, and we've seen the beautiful roads. It's a beautiful city.
And we heard about the venue. Like,
and we've
many
heard about this
friends
venue,
that
yes.
have been here, played
So it's
here.
the best.
Like, yeah, really, really rate this place. And yeah, I can see why. It's great.
Yeah. I mean, I know from like friends who work here, a lot has gone into this place. So like, you know, the fact that word of mouth now is going around and being like, you know, Parish is a place to be, it's nice as someone who frequents here anyway. But yeah, I normally start these off with sort of like, in your own words, how do you describe Calva Louise to someone who's not heard you?
Well, I think it's a multicultural, like a potpourri of multicultures. Like they came together and a few words. Well, a multicultural band that comes from different continents, but it's English.
Yeah.
But it's an English band from Blackpool.
So it's kind of a bit like England then, of like stealing, well I say stealing, like taking lots from everywhere else and being like, yeah, this is ours.
But taken with a lot of respect. And I think since we grew up in different continents, speaking different languages, because French, English and Spanish, we kind of take all the music we've heard and all the cultural background where we grew up and kind of try to put it together, and at the same time with admiration for British music. So it's kind of like taking everything in a very nice way, not forgetting our roots basically, but admiring the culture that is the rock in England.
Yeah, absolutely. So I guess the other thing is then, like, who are Calva Louise? Where does, obviously the name doesn't actually resonate with anyone's actual name, but like, how do you come up with a name like Calva Louise? And how do you guys get together, being from 3 different, continents, like you say?
You wanna?
Well, the name comes from originally. It comes from a play written by a playwright called Eugene Ionesco, and his play is called The Bold Soprano, and so that's what Calva means, bold, and
In Spanish.
in Spanish, that's right. And I don't know. I think when we got together, none of us had the same mother tongue, so communication was funny. It was like in the prac room, it was like, what are you saying? What do you mean? And so
Expressions are
Yeah.
different. It's the same words, but like they mean different things.
Yeah,
so you
different
will say
ideas.
something in English, but it's translated in your mind, and Ben will be like, "What?
and the connection
What
with
are you trying to
It's
say?"
like, you're talking about elephants. What? Like, I thought you were talking about verse 2.
and that's what kind of the play is about. I mean,
It's
got
about
a lot
the
of that.
absurdity of language.
And so that reminded us of that play that Jess and I studied at school. And then Louise is also the main character of the story that's permeated inside
Yeah, it's
all
like
the
the-
music and
yeah.
visuals and everything.
Yeah, it's a name we all
Touch on that?
agreed with. So say like, any ex-girlfriends called Louise? No. No, but it represents kind of, Louise represents a little bit of who we are put together in one character,
Yeah.
if that makes sense.
So bold Louise.
Yes, but she's not bold.
Like balls, as in like no hair.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But she's bold, as in
As in brave.
brave.
Yeah,
yes.
yeah.
Bold.
Definitely.
Brave Louise.
Brave. Yeah. Courageous.
Yeah. Well, I mean, we're here in Huddersfield and you're supporting Boston Manor. I think it's the first night that you guys are playing with them.
Yes.
That's right.
Is there anything you're expecting? Like, what's kind of been like in your preparation for these shows?
Well, it's really exciting for us, these shows, because this is our first show since like last summer, and so tonight we'll be playing for the first time 3 new songs that Jess wrote earlier this year, and so we have new songs, new setup. Just going to be playing keys. We've got like extra little things on stage that we've never used before, and so yeah, it's very exciting, and also we can think of a better opportunity to perform these songs with Boston Manor, because we've been big fans of the band for a long time, and we live, at the moment we live near Blackpool, where they're from, so it all comes together really nicely, and we're very, very happy to be here.
Yeah. And obviously, I mentioned like live. Like, I've seen you guys quite a few times now. Like every single time, like there's always been something new sort of brought to the table. Like especially, I think confidence has been a big thing. There's so much more energy, and like, I've noticed as well. Even the crowds like have been so much more like, as support bands. Obviously, like you kind of got to be, oh, are we going to win them over? Or are we not? And then like, I've seen so many people go crazy now for, like Bellicosa and stuff like that.
Yeah.
I guess, yeah, that's what we hope for the shows, is that people just love the music and get really into it, and we want our shows to be, or like a place where people can let their hair down and go a bit crazy, have fun.
Yeah. And also, like, I'm very happy that you say about like the confidence, because when we started, since like it was not only difficult for us to understand how the music industry kind of worked, but first and foremost understand culture, like the English culture, just little things that you wouldn't really understand, and it was hard sometimes to mimetize, like to feeling like belonging, because you never know if you say something wrong, or someone offers you a cup of tea but they don't want to make a cup of tea, and you need to know that. and it's kind of like it's kind of it's stuff that is like that thing that's on TikTok now, the guy with the microwave, like where he's like, I know you don't.
TikTok.
It's a kind of like when parents don't understand kids, for example, like and the kids are talking like in a slang or like meaning stuff, and adults are kind of like well, I don't, what do you mean, like what you're getting, and that's how it felt a little bit, even when preparing for gigs, meeting people at gigs, doing like how it is that you're supposed to do things, and that took a lot of you feel always like if you do something wrong, is kind of a little slap in the wrist, and then your confidence goes like, oh shit, no. I mean, already you feel so lucky well, Ben is English actually, like he's half New Zealand, half English, but like Alizon and me, you know, like we're foreigners and we kind of, oh shit, no, we did something wrong, we acted not the right way, and that's affected a lot the performances. If something, you know, like if you do something wrong because you feel like I'm so lucky to be here, and that's what we were told in the past a lot of times, you know, in the music industry, being like.
We had to learn the codes, and
Yeah.
like, it was like hard feeling confident knowing that we didn't know the codes, and that at any time we would do something wrong and say something wrong, and it was like, oh no, you know.
And
didn't
in
mean-
saying and doing something wrong, I don't think it would be anything wrong for like you, for example, but in the music industry, you know, like a manager would get mad at you for something, and then you don't know if that's normal or not, because you don't really know, and sometimes we never knew. Are people taking the piss at us because we don't know?
Yeah.
Or is it? And I remember touring with a band, and they told me, Jess, that's not normal. Like what you've been living with these people, that's not normal. They're kind of like taking a bit too much of, you know, and then and crushing your confidence. And I felt it's very nuanced, like very subtle. I feel that in the music industry, there's a lot of like people being, you know, like if you don't show the confidence like straightforward, they won't respect you. But since you don't know what is that, like how to, for example, I'll tell you this very, very, very cool thing. Boston Manor, they're so nice, and we were not expecting, and they weren't expecting us to. They were moving their drum kit off the stage,
Yeah.
and I was telling the guys, they're moving the drum kit, but we planned to put our drum kit in the side. Like we planned everything so they wouldn't move the drum kit, because we were always told like, we expect us to move the drum kit, you know. But we thought, oh, you know, and then they were confused. They were like, no, but you can put your drum kit here, it's fine. and we were like, and they were like, you're so nice. And we were like, no, you're so nice. And it is the things that you get surprised, like, oh, yeah, like because, oh, well, it's a like-minded thing. And it takes a lot of time to meet like-minded kind of people that where you're not afraid of, you know, doing a thing, you know, they're gonna be, you know, like, you don't get the ways. Well, if that makes sense.
Yeah, absolutely. And like going back to sort of like you see it a lot when Americans come over to England to tour, and they get to Yorkshire, and you get that chant, and it's like Yorkshire,
Yeah.
and like you hear a lot of Americans saying, "What? You're shit."
Yeah.
Oh, I love it. Oh.
Yeah. But yeah, so second full-length record, Euphoric, came out last year, 2021. We're obviously right at the end of 2022.
Yeah.
You made me down myself.
yeah. Just have to think about it.
I spent hours scrolling through the internet. But yeah, like, tell me about that. Obviously, you know, you've had it over a year now to reflect on it. Like you said, Jess has been writing new songs. Sort of like, tell me about writing Euphoric and how the response to that and your reflection on it has sort of like shaped, you know, future Calva Louise.
Huh, interesting. I mean,
A big question, I'm
No,
aware.
yeah, no, they're good. I mean,
Well, if you want, I think, you want
Yeah, in terms of the writing, I mean, Jess writes all the songs. So, how did you feel about
Well,
writing?
okay, so I think the writing and production, everything is like every step of our band is things have been made while we're learning them. So a big thing is that we've never really had a lot of like help of brainstorm help, you know, like we have to brainstorm, you know, like Alizon built all the stuff, and we gotta always like brainstorm how we're gonna do this. And I feel like we were extremely lucky to have a label that said to us, they didn't say exactly this, I'm paraphrasing, but okay, we got this amount of money, here, do what you need to do. And then, you know, in the first album what we did, it was the opposite. It was like we were not involved in any side of who's gonna produce it, who's gonna mix it. It's like just like write the songs and record in 10 days, you know, like it's very, but in here it's like complete freedom. So it was kind of how we were like the, you know, like in films, like co-producers, you know, like the people thinking of organizing everything, and that's what we did. We contacted everything. It was all kind of the pieces put together little by little. It was like, okay, I'm gonna make this film, we're gonna make this happen. But of course, the skills level, they're always as much as you can do, because you're building a foundation with it, you know. It's not kind of just putting the right touches, and a lot of people, like, which is what we wanted like kind of a team of people, but then realized we needed to become the team. So it was kind of multitasking all the end during the pandemic. So luckily we lived together, so we used to live together, and so we were confined in a space. And for example, we took all the money that the label had given us, and they gave us a lot of money. Well, not a lot, but you know, like a lot for us, you know. And we put it with Bobby from Strange Bones, and we made a studio. And he had never mixed an album, so he was like, you know what, fuck it. We can't go anywhere mix it. I need to learn. And he learned it. And I was like, you know, fuck it, I need to learn how to do the videos, because we can't go anywhere, so I need to learn it. And his Alizon said, well, fuck it, I need to learn how to build a studio to help Bobby. Well, fuck it. I mean, it's like, well, I need to know how I'm gonna record the drums in the kitchen. Well, fuck it. Well, so it was a lot of like challenge accepted, you know.
Yeah.
And of course, at one point, it's not gonna be perfect, but it was the best we could have done at the time with that. And now I feel like our skills have developed into the learning process, and we're using that as a foundation for the next. It's always kind of trying to do the same thing. Same with songwriting and putting things together with the laptop, the software. You need to learn all this stuff because you're producing, right? So we're producing with Bobby. Bobby's producing, teaching me. So it is a very, very DIY, very, very DIY. But because we had the chance of living together, plus with Bobby, we were giving each other the help and the strength. Like we were each other's team there. Well, Bobby was part of our team, and the three of us were part of his team. So reflecting now, I think, okay, I see what doesn't really work, what works, but hell, we did a very good job for just being thrown money at us and said, okay, here, do. You know, even the pictures, sometimes it was kind of like we need to learn how to, you know, our photographer can come, we need to learn all this stuff. And I feel very, very happy that it was that way, because now we are more self-sufficient, even more. And well, we could get to the point where we will develop all the skills simultaneously, and then they will be really good. But you know, baby steps.
Yeah, we were really fortunate through COVID actually, because like so many bands just went on pause. They just didn't do anything, didn't release anything because they couldn't meet, because they didn't live together, you know. And obviously all the gigs stopped, and there was the whole like online stream thing. I know a lot of people did that, but yeah, we were very, very lucky to be able to still continue doing what we were doing. So yeah, I think we're all pretty thankful for that.
And that we could do that in-house.
Yeah, that's the thing. I mean, I can only summarize from here, but like, yeah, from Euphoric, I guess the whole experience was just trying to learn things ourselves, and we discovered and learned that we can indeed do things ourselves, even though it was the best we could do at the time, but now we can hopefully do a lot better. And so, yeah, I think that's what we take from this whole production experience of this album.
Yeah.
And I feel like as well, there's a bit more, you know, like Spanish, a bit more of yourselves in the record. Like, I'm presuming that kind of freedom was allowed, like, you know, just, you know, there's no one saying, you've got to make songs like this, you've got to do
Nobody.
that.
Nobody. No, we had no creative stop. Like, well, let me rephrase it. We had all creative control. Like, nobody said, you can't do this. Everybody said, okay.
Which is a pretty amazing position to be in when you're signed to a label.
Yeah.
And, you know, do realize that now. It's like, okay, yeah, our experience with both records so far were completely different. And it was fantastic, just being able to be like, all right, I got an idea, let's throw it in, let's just do that ourselves.
And there was, you know, for example, we said we were very good at accounting and budgeting and showing that we're not going to spend the money wrong, right? I mean, even though they didn't make much money from it, but like, so we need okay, music videos cost this much. Okay, well, can we get the budgeted for all these parts of the computer? Alizon can build it. And then they were like, you know what? Okay, can you give us a budget to do this? You know what? Okay, because that some amazing people at the label told us, you're really hardworking, so we see that. And the fact that you are, then the promotion and all the stuff that we lacked, we didn't know, but now little by little, another thing to add, and it's exciting. It's that builds confidence. I think the fact that you think, you know what, nobody's gonna really want to help me, and some people would wanna like individually like help. Said okay. In Spanish we say manos a la obra. It's like, okay, hands in the
Pies?
hands in the okay. It's like like when people start working a job, they're like, okay, let's go, here we go.
Yeah.
Get your hands dirty.
Yeah, get your hands dirty. Yes.
Yeah. So what was that in Spanish?
Manos a la obra.
Manos a la obra.
Yes, like hands to the work. To
Yeah.
the yes.
I can't remember.
Get on with it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
good stuff.
And obviously as well, like, I can't not mention like that massive, like 45 minutes animation to go with the entire record. Like, I think that was entirely done by you. And I've seen, that you've been doing stuff in Unreal 5. Like, does this basically at this point now make Calva Louise almost entirely self-sufficient?
Yes. On this new release that we're gonna do, completely, but with a lot of friends. For example, you have Bobby always helping out, and Alizon helps building stuff, and we help. We help each other. We still the team. Bobby is part of part of our. I always say you're the artistic director. You come and you say good, no, okay, but very, very nicely. And we have a friend. We released a track in July, yes, called Throne, with an Italian producer and an artist, a DJ, drum and bass artist, and he does all kinds of drum and bass. And we work together, and we work together so well that he super nicely. He said, you know what? I'll mix the track. Your new track, I'll mix it. Done. And said, but we don't really have budget. It's like, we'll find it. I'll mix it. And he did it. And it was amazing. It was great. And so the fact that, we get to talk to him, and we get to talk, we do the connection points with a lot of people that, they're like, oh, what can we do? What can we do to work together? And that's it's kind of self-sufficient, definitely, but we do have great people to work with in a human level, mainly as well, because we become friends. It's like our photographer Kira. She's here. She's one of our best friends, and she comes and we try our best to find ways of getting enough for everybody, to thrive together.
Yeah. So obviously we're reaching the end of 2022 now. It's been a long year. You were active in January touring with Strange Bones, and you obviously had quite a few festival appearances, including 2000 Trees, which from someone who's never been looks like such a cool festival to go
It's
to.
the coolest festival.
Yeah.
Yeah, and obviously ended that with Bingley Weekender. You had the USA tour with Slot Thrust.
Yes,
Yeah.
Slot Thrust.
Not Slot Thrust.
No, it's not for us. Yeah.
Yeah. Obviously, 2022 has been great. Is there anything you can tell me about 2023?
Well, new music coming out.
Yeah, new
Yes.
music.
Well, we do have something very cool. And I think-
Yeah, so obviously, there's going to be a bunch of singles released and an EP, and with the EP will be released a video game,
but a proper one.
proper video game.
Yeah, with proper, an amazing company called Stratera Games, a Turkish video game developing company, and this is the amazing thing, which I love about social media. We started going on Discord and trying to, people in Discord are really. We met a lot of people in the United States that come with Discord and things like that. I thought this is amazing. It's really an amazing community to meet. You know, like the people that they like our music and then we like their art. And there was this. There's gonna be a video game.
Video game next year. Wow.
We may or may not have had some technical issues.
With a great video game developers called Straterra game, and you were saying how we connected through Discord.
Yeah. That's it.
We started using Discord like for Euphoric actually last year, and then we kind of like revived it on September.
Yes.
Like that, and then
I love it. I really like
Yeah.
it. I love all this stuff.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's a great platform because we can actually have a real conversation with people, not just a one-way conversation on classic social media. So yeah, it's a great thing, and come join Discord.
What's the link?
Oh, it's on our in our link tree in the bio in Instagram or
I'll
anywhere.
include a link.
You can find out all the socials.
Yes. So I'll try and wrap up if food and merch and stuff is things. So I'll wrap it up with a quick fire round.
Yes.
All right.
Okay.
Oh, amazing! I love this.
Yes. So I don't quite know how it's going to work with 3 people. But it's just like a lot of them is A or B. Just say the first one that comes to your head.
I'm just gonna shout at the same time.
I can say you
maybe
first.
Maybe we're gonna give the same answer.
Well,
Maybe.
Let's
okay.
see.
Okay, let's see.
Gigs in the north or south?
North.
Same answer. MIDI instruments or real instruments?
Real.
It's hard. We
100% real.
Well, we just started using MIDI ones live, and it just opens up so many
Whole new
things. So many things.
world.
Yeah, exactly. Like it's like, I mean, I
love
love
it.
both. It's
Yeah.
like I think there's a
50.
place
I
for
said
both,
50.
honestly.
Yeah.
Both is valid. Intimate gigs or bigger gigs?
Same. Both.
In the middle.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They're both really cool. I think I'd be sad if we can do either. I mean, we don't do many big gigs anyway, but like the few big gigs we've done have been like just such a singular experience. It's mad.
I mean, it's a very subjective, but like an intimate gig for a huge party would be kind of like, I don't know, like to us, this is a big gig.
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah,
That's it. I don't think we're
I think intimate for us is like 50 people.
yeah, like we're not at the level we probably don't have the same notion of intimate as most people.
But both.
that's not-
Yeah.
Both.
They've
All
they've
things are
all
good.
got their like pros to them. Yeah.
But intimate with like really great, nice people over a big one with just like a crowd that doesn't really
Yeah.
care
Yeah.
about it too much.
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
that's true.
Yeah. Pro Tools or Logic?
Logic.
Logic.
I'll agree with you there. Bedroom studio or studio? Considering that you just
Bedroom
Bedroom
studio.
studio.
Bedroom studio
Yeah.
all way. All fucking way.
This is the open-ended one. Song on repeat at the minute.
Wow,
That's
what
a
am I
good one.
listening to at the moment?
I mean, I've been caning the latest Taylor Swift record. Yeah. But that's not any particular song.
I have a blank. I have a little.
We're
big,
musicians.
A big blank.
We're
No, I would
musicians,
say-
guys. Come on, we can think of just
No,
one
no.
song.
I'm thinking about like, I forgot the name of the song.
What's that?
But that's no, it's not. It's a band called Low Race, L-O Race, and I've been seeing. I don't know if it's like a band or the artist. I think it's like a band, but the songs are like really good. It's like synth. It's like just the music that we love. It's cyberpunk synth wave,
Yeah.
and but oh my god, I forgot the name. But Low Race.
Alright.
Nice. Well, I've been. Funny enough, it's just because it's been stuck in my head today. I've actually got Mary on a Cross, but
Yeah.
that's because of their.
Of their
Like
ads.
they
yeah.
just released like a single version or something. Like, I don't know, they released something about it, and so I've seen it. And,
because it went big on TikTok.
and so we
But
love,
we knew, yeah.
we love Ghosts.
It's still, I love the ambiguity.
And they don't
with
take
it.
themselves seriously either. That's nice.
Yeah. And then the last one, we already know Ben's now, but album of the year.
Wow, it's like we don't even listen to music.
No, I don't know. Taylor Swift's Midnight's album of the year.
What
for me.
albums have been? Oh well, is this an album? The tour, Boston Manor.
Was it released?
It wasn't released this year.
This year?
Yes,
Yeah,
yes.
2022.
Yeah.
But it's like
Yeah.
what do they call it? A mixtape. But it is an album. It is 7 songs, isn't it? Like it's a whole.
It's a grey area.
And it's
Yeah.
I think
It's a great
it's
area.
30 minutes makes an album.
Oh, okay.
yeah.
Well, we can call it album.
Yeah.
I don't. Yeah, well, the tour.
It's
Like,
definitely,
how
definitely
yeah,
more than 30 minutes.
It's I've been listening. Yeah,
It's definitely yeah. Go for it. That's it.
The Terror by
Sorry.
Boston Manor.
Yeah.
the tour was
Yeah.
Manor. Yes.
Yeah.
Go guys.
So on that note, thank you very much for having a chat with me. Where can people find Calva Louise if they want to?
Use your favorite search engine. Find,
So French. That's the Frenchest thing you can say. That's such a French. It's like, oh, use your brain. So,
Well, I mean, we've got.
CalvaLouise.com.
I'd say
CalvaLouise.com.
CalvaLouise.com. If people are interested, I think Discord is a really nice place to see what we're up to because there's a lot of exclusive stuff from this.
Yeah.
That's
Yes, but
exclusive to
French man,
Discord.
Post a
how do
lot
they
of
go
stuff
to
in there.
Discord?
So
With their favorite browser.
No, but
With the link in the description.
The link in the description,
On
yes.
CalvaLouise.com you can find everything on all the usual social, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, Bandcamp, you name it. You can find links to that.
And if there's any I'm always open for new social medias and whatever. I love all of them.
Yeah.
I really love
If there's a
Well,
social
well,
media,
we might be about to lose one of them, so
Oh, which one?
it's just a
Which
joke
is
about
about
Twitter.
Twitter. Oh, fuck me. I forgot about Twitter. Twitter is the only one that
I
I'm
don't
going
think it'll
to.
go anywhere.
Nah, me neither.
It won't go anywhere.
If anything, if the fact that MySpace still exists and the fact that Tumblr's had a resurgence, you can't kill social media.
I mean, it's still-
It only gets
Yeah.
worse.
Yeah.
But you know what?
It's still
Twitter
strong,
is the
isn't it?
only
Yeah.
is the only social media I actually don't really go there because of the amount of stuff that I'm like, I don't want to see this.
It feels like very drama.
It's very, very
Yeah.
yeah. It was funny, but now it's not. But well, you know.
But on that note, have a great show tonight.
Oh, thank
Thank
you,
you.
Ruby. Thank you so much.
You're listening to Fresh from the Scene with Ruby Price.
Thank you very much for listening. I do hope you enjoyed that. If you did, please consider taking less than 5 minutes to leave a review and give this podcast a 5-star rating on Apple Podcasts or Spotify. You can follow the podcast on Twitter at FFTScene, that's FFTSCENE, or you can find me on the socials at Rubes, that's RUUBEZ, or possibly RUUBEZ001 if you're looking for me on Instagram. With any luck, I will hopefully get my shit together for 2023 and we'll get some content sorted out soon. But, if I don't, have a good Christmas, have a good New Year. We'll see you in 2023. I've been Ruby Price, and this was Fresh from the Scene featuring Calva Louise. Thank you very much, and goodbye, and Merry fucking Christmas.